Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. When it comes to building materials and tools for your next home improvement project, get the very best at the very best prices. Do that by visiting A.G. Hines Company in downtown Knoxville, right on Hines Street. You see the phone number. Their website is out there as well. You've got A.G. Hines Company, just a tremendous business. When you're around for 101 years, you don't need much of a plug. Matter of fact, that is your plug. 101 years. A.G. Hines Company. Get down there and check them out this week. Okay, the Vols are back in action in Game 2 today at 3 o'clock. Win, and they are going to Omaha. You can pack your bags, Ma. LSU has their ace on the mound today. As we said, Tennessee's bats weren't their usual selves last night. At the same time, they didn't show any signs of pressure. Tennessee didn't, as you pointed out. There's no reason for them to feel any pressure today. All of the pressure is on LSU at this point. I mean, it's do or die for LSU, and I think that if you're a Tennessee fan, it's hard to imagine them losing 2 straight games today and then another one that would have to lose tomorrow. It's hard to imagine this team, after beating LSU 4 straight, after being as resilient as they've been, losing 2 games the next 2 days. Well, you don't want to be overconfident, but going into today's game, you got to be feeling pretty darn good.
Well, that's the stat that John Wilkerson has pointed out. Tennessee has not lost back-to-back SEC games on back-to-back days the whole season. And that's what makes you feel good. What makes you feel good is the way they have won so many series, you know, in the 3 games with SEC play. So, but I mean, there is still some pressure, especially if LSU gets the early lead. I mean, that's where maybe some of the pressure can shift back to Tennessee.
I think if they lose today, if LSU wins, then I think the pressure shifts back to Tennessee as the higher-ranked team tomorrow. But I think it's on LSU. What do you guys think?
No, I think it is. Having said that, LSU lost their first game in the Oregon region and came back, won 4 in a row. So they showed some resiliency as well. But I do like Tennessee's chances. I think they're better than LSU. Now, in the first series when Tennessee beat LSU 3 in a row, there were 2 walk-off wins, right?
Yeah.
So they
tight
were close.
Games.
They were tight, and I would expect this one to be tight as well. I don't think Tennessee's going to score a ton of runs. So that means Tennessee's pitching is going to have to be spot on again today.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you have to rest on the fact you're the better team here. Like, that's what it comes down to. It's like you can talk about pressure and all the little things, but if you're the better team, you got to prove it. And if you just play and don't make mistakes and don't give away runs and keep it a 4-2, a 6-7 run ball game today, you know, you got a pretty good shot. Maybe you walk it off, but it's you know, it's going to be certainly a game that I agree with you. I think it'll be tight. They all have been,
right.
And I think you're going to see another one in that realm. And you know, at some point in those last 3 innings, it's going to break.
And to your point, John, there's another good stat that favors Tennessee, and it's why it's so important to win that first game. Since 2009, in the NCAA regionals and sub-regionals team, in the super regional, the team that's won the first game, 80% of the time they win the series. So that's a pretty heavy stat in your favor, and it also helps you. So much of this is setting up your pitching if it does become a 3-game series. Because LSU pretty much has to pull out the plug, go for gusto here. They, you know, it just depends on how the game goes. I think especially early, getting an early lead to me is really crucial in a setting like this.
All right, very good. What exactly is riding on this super regional? Yeah, I know, a trip to the World Series. But what would that mean, grand scheme of things, for the Tennessee program? We'll discuss that next. Come on back on the Sports Source.